Okay, this is the Singer 403A, an amazing machine born back in 1953. I love this machine for a couple of reasons. One is it's lightweight and portable because it has a forged aluminum body, and yet it's extremely sturdy and able to do the heaviest of heavy sewing. I also like it because it has a variety of cams that come with it as well, so that you're able to generate a wide range of decorative and also utility stitches. And I also like this machine because it's unbelievably powerful. It's got a 0.75 amp motor, and as you'll see in the various sew-offs, no matter what we put underneath that presser foot, this machine goes through it like it's a walk in the park. Let's go ahead and start on the bottom right hand side of this 403A. This is obviously a control area for raising and lowering the throat plate. The reason you want to be able to do that is, just like lowering feed dogs, you want to have the freedom to do freehand embroidery. Now if the camera pans over towards the needle, you're going to see with a simple move of this control, I'm able to raise that throat plate so that those feed dogs are no longer making contact with the material that's underneath that presser foot. It gives you the freedom to do a wide range of freehand embroidery. And if you push it just a little bit further, you can pop it all the way up. So with a simple push of this back, you can remove that throat plate and then remove any of that lint debris that naturally will get caught down by the feed dogs. And other machines would be very difficult to get to, but with this one it's just a breeze to get in there and clean that up. And then once that's done, you can very easily move this back down into a lock position so those feed dogs are fully engaged again. How cool is that? I just think that is one of the neatest features that Singer ever built into the various 400 and the 500 series class machines. Follow me back over to the right side of the machine. You can see obviously here we have a thread guide that's used for bobbin winding. You'd place your spool of thread right here, come underneath this control area. Up here you'd place your bobbin on there and then rotate it up to the hand wheel. Once that bobbin fills, this little stopper right here is going to automatically begin to push it away from the hand wheel to disengage it. And then once you're done winding bobbins, you can simply rotate this back down and it fits in there right into the body, out of the way until you need it again. I just love that feature. It's such a nice feature where you can tuck it away and it's not in the way, not anywhere to be dealt with until you absolutely need it. Right over here, if you go to the left a little bit, we obviously have a control center for stitch length. This 403A has a huge range as far as stitch length, anything from 6 stitches per inch all the way down to 30 stitches per inch. Now looking at this, you'll say, well, wait a second, it only goes to 20. Well, that's true, but if you move this all the way into the fine range, you're able to achieve that 30 stitches per inch. And then if you move this all the way up, you can easily sew in reverse and then just move it back down into that fine range and the 6 stitches per inch range in order to start sewing forward again. Let me show you an example of an applique that we did on this machine that I think does a great job of illustrating not only the quality of stitches that this machine produces, but the control over the foot pedal as you look at the curves that we were able to generate with the machine and navigating around these different applique layered components of the applique, and also the fine stitching that you're able to generate with this, again all the way down to 30 stitches per inch as you look at the accent turning and the accent stitching around these different applique components. Also, as you move to the outer edges, you can see that we also generated a gorgeous straight stitch as well that's probably in that 6 to 7 stitches per inch range. But the final product is just a gorgeous representation of what a machine of this caliber is able to generate. And because of the caliber of the machine, you're able to generate an applique or another creative piece just as gorgeous as this one. Beyond that, as I had shared earlier, because of those cam generated components of this 403A, you're also able to get a huge variation as far as stitch patterns. And you're also able to get variations within that specific stitch pattern. This obviously is a diamond style pattern right here, and as we adjust the stitch length or the stitch width, we're able to change the complete look of that stitch pattern. So you really end up with the various cams that we're going to be including with this 403A having almost limitless stitch variation pattern outputs that you can produce depending on what project outcome you want. But the final result is that not only do you have an incredibly heavy-duty machine with a 0.75 amp direct drive motor, but you also have a lot of creative versatility that this machine is capable of as well. Also, with all of our machines, we always include an owner's manual for two reasons. One, we want you to be able to maximize this machine to the fullest. It is probably one of the simplest Singer machines to operate, even though it's got incredible output capacity as far as decorative, creative, heavy-duty sewing. But this, should you encounter a question, this manual is so easy to reference to find that answer to that question. It's also going to help you to maintain this machine. Now, when you get the machine, don't even worry about that. We spend on average 8 to 10 hours on every single machine that we put on eBay. So when you get that machine, you know it's been fully serviced, tuned, oiled, conditioned, and every component of that machine has been inspected. So that machine, when you get it, is as close to factory standard as you can possibly get it. But as you need routine maintenance, the oiling and other things that machine will eventually need, this manual will guide you to the very simple steps of performing that basic maintenance on it. We're also going to be including, I'll just show you real quick, a really neat specialty foot. This is a roller type foot that if you're looking at this machine and saying, you know what, I'm going to be doing multiple layers of quilt batting, I'm going to be doing leather sewing, I'm going to be doing other heavy duty sewing, this is a foot that is very desirable. It's going to allow that material to feed evenly, it's going to preserve stitch integrity, and the final result is going to be, this is going to be your best friend when it comes to sewing any of that type of heavy grade type sewing with this 403A. Let's go ahead and go back to the machine again. We've already covered stitch length. If we kind of come up to this area right here, I'll just quickly point out a couple of things. This is obviously going to be for needle alignment. By simply pushing this in and pushing it up or down, you can change the alignment of that needle from left to right. Most of the time it's going to be center, but if you need to do that or want to do that, it's a matter of seconds to change the alignment of the needle. Over here right now you can see that we've got this control set on S, which is for straight stitching. If you're wanting to access any of those cam generated features, you'll move this to the right so you're within the range of 2 to 5. That obviously is going to adjust that stitch width for you so you can adjust the look of the output of those cam generated stitches. If we come to the top of the machine, I'm going to point out a couple of things before I remove this spool of thread. You obviously see there's 2 spool pins, which tells you right away this 403A can do dual needle sewing. If I remove this spool, I'm going to show you that inside is where that cam goes. You can see already there's a cam inserted. We're going to be sewing with this cam later. This is going to be a real neat curving type cam stitch pattern output that I think you'll really like to see. But if we reinsert it, it's just a breeze to snap it back into position. Let me just rotate a little bit further. Snap it back into position. And the only step beyond that you need to do, let me rotate this back down and get this spool of thread back into position. Beyond snapping that cam in, which you just saw, is just adjusting that stitch width. And again, it's totally up to you as far as the look of the stitch you want to generate. You would just move it over somewhere between the 2 to 5 range. Alright, follow me away from this spool on top. You can see that threading this machine is very simple. We come through this thread guide right here, down through the tension control area, up through the arm, and then all the way down to the presser foot. Before we go down to the presser foot, and I'm really kind of challenging our camera person here, I wanted to point out as well, look at that. As you're getting acquainted with this machine, instead of having to go to that instruction manual, with a simple opening of that faceplate, you've got a quick reference so that you're able to easily remind yourself, okay, that's how I thread this machine. Again, I think this machine is an absolute breeze to thread and operate, but it's there if you need it. If we go all the way down to the presser foot area now, you can see that with my finger underneath there, we've got a huge amount of clearance, which if you're looking to do it quilt batting, multiple layers, if you're looking to do heavy duty sewing, it's a breeze to fit all that material underneath this presser foot. And you'll see that evidenced in the various videos that we have of various stitch offs. Also, I love the fact that it has a drop-in bobbin. Here's our bobbin right here, and I've taken it out for a reason, because I also wanted to demonstrate how easy it is in the rare instance where you get a thread jam. By simply popping this arm up, you can easily remove that piece, so you can get, if the camera zooms really in tight, that's generally where your thread jam is going to be, right down in here. You're able to get to that thread jam very quickly, and then in a matter of seconds you're able to slide this back in, lock it in place, put that bobbin back in there, and I won't actually go through the entire threading process, but you simply slide it here, and then you would go through the process of pulling it up as you normally would with any machine. But the process is so fast and so efficient and so quick. Where some machines, there's several pieces that have to be taken off in order to access the area where that thread jam would be. If that's not enough of an incentive to bid on this amazing 403A, let me give you another reason to do it. We're going to be including, as we do with most of our listings, a fun bonus. Now, the quality of our machines, because of the way we service them, is enough reason for people to pursue them above and beyond any other machine that's on eBay. We take so much pride in our machines, but we also like to give added value. So you'll have a choice of picking one of these gorgeous bangle style type watches, Geneva Movement, gorgeous woman's watch. They are just really head turners when it comes to the beauty of them, as you can see hopefully through the camera right now. And you'll see these in the photos as well. So I wish you the best in bidding on this gorgeous 403A, and make sure you check out our other videos as well, where you'll see the amazing power of this incredible machine.